My name is Eli,
My name's Aaron.
My name is Michael.
and this is Sports from the Heartland. Thanks for turning into our second episode of all time. We're basically going to start a new format from today. What we're doing from now on is we're actually going to release a video every day, so look out for that. We're going to start each week with NFL news and notes, and then we're going to move into baseball. We're going to do it a little differently this week since we didn't make it to the AL last week. We're just going to start with the AL this week, but we'll get to that on Monday, on Tuesday, and today we're doing NFL news and notes.
Great. How you guys doing, man?
Good.
Ready to talk about some football right now?
Always.
Always. All right, guys. So, NFL draft is coming up soon. So let's start with that for a bit. Eli, what's your top prospect this year?
My top prospect, as far as I always go with this. My formula is like best player at position, and then best player at value. So I would go with Eddie Lacy.
Andy Lacy?
Eddie Lacy. I love running backs out of Alabama.
Roll Tide.
That is what they put out best, and for me, that is what I really look for in a back. He does everything. He's got speed. Everybody complains about his top speed, but he's got good speed for a running back, and he's a bruiser. So I love that.
I'm gonna have to go a little bit differently with you. I mean, it's the same position wise, but power is important. But I mean, that's what you have fullbacks for, to plow through the line. I'm gonna go with Bell. He's probably the best running back in the draft right now. The fastest by far. He may not be the toughest, but he makes up for that with his finesse. So
Very, very true. Very true.
All right.
All right, so we're going to kind of go to an overrated, underrated kind of a category here. So, Mike, who's your more overrated person in this draft? So,
I'm just gonna have to say Ogletree. I mean, in my opinion, he shouldn't even be in the draft right now. I mean, leading up to the draft already, he's already had like 3 DUIs, poor character, and usually that's what makes up most of football or any sport in general is your character, and he just doesn't show it. It's basically a job. I mean, he's going to it. The draft is basically a job interview. He's going in there with already a bad impression on people, and like it's terrible.
Oh yeah, and I agree with you. I think I'm going to go a little differently as far as my most overrated. I think I'm going to go with Geno Smith, quarterback out of West Virginia. I don't understand the fascination with this guy. I really don't. He's a running quarterback, which I think people are far too enticed by what they see from a guy like Washington's quarterback. For some reason, his name is escaping me right now. But I think too many people are too caught up with what they see in him. They think that they can make anybody into that. The problem is that you have to have a guy that is willing to throw first, and when there's nothing there, when there's broken play, run. I never saw that with Geno Smith. I see Geno Smith has a big arm. Guess what? Jamarcus Russell had a big arm.
Cam Newton had a big arm.
Cam Newton has a big arm.
Michael Vick.
Cam Newton, he can run. Yeah, well, Cam Newton's won 6 games in each of his seasons. You know, he's got 12 games to his 12 wins to his credit. So I would say definitely I wouldn't take him, but it looks like it's going to go at least number 3 to the Raiders.
Great. How about underrated guys?
Well, I mean, I think you and me have the same pick for it. I'll let you start off then.
Tyrann Mathieu. Tyrann Mathieu for the pure talent that you're going to get and the place you're going to get him. You're going to get him in the 6th or 7th round. I don't think you can really go wrong with this pick at that point, and I think a lot of teams are starting to catch on to it. Now, he's going to fall to at least the 6th or 7th, I think, because of his really, really bad combine performance. What I'm thinking that will do is show him just how out of shape he really is. I'm not worried about a guy being out of shape in the combine, especially a guy that's been out as long as he has. If I see a guy, it worries me that certain guys come in at 350 pounds when they were 320. that worries me. But when I see a guy like Tyrann Mathieu who's been out for a year, he's going to be out of shape. He's going to be out of playing condition.
He just came off of the surgery, so.
Yeah, and rehab. I mean,
Yeah.
rehab, which is one of the worst things you can do, which takes a toll on your body. So I'm not as concerned with that talent. I see the pure raw talent, and I think I can get him in the 6th, 7th round.
I mean, yeah, I see him as one of those undervalued, under the radar kind of players. I think whichever team gets him, they're getting a steal for him.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like you said earlier, he just got off of rehab, just got out of surgery. And the thing with the rehab too is a really big thing too. It just shows how much he's trying to change, which is really good. Like I said earlier, this is kind of the draft is kind of like a job interview. And sure, going to rehab may seem like a little black spot on his record, but I mean, in all other things, it shows in his worth that he's trying to change, and that in itself is a good impression.
In the end, what we're getting at there is don't pull any Winehouse.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, guys. Kind of go along with this draft. A lot of people know Alex Smith has been traded to Kansas City, who is in desperate need of a quarterback.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here. Just terrible offense last year. Do you guys think they're going to go pretty much for offensive or defensive? What do you guys think they're going to go for now that they have Alex Smith as their quarterback?
You want to take this one?
Yeah. Basically, what I think is they have a new quarterback. What they need now is a new line. I mean, sure, defense will help them, but they need to start building on that quarterback because the quarterback is the central part of your offense. But you can't win with those big name positions like running back, wide receiver, fullback. I don't know what to say. I was thinking baseball for a minute there. But yeah, it all starts in the trenches with the O-line. If you don't have an O-line protecting your quarterback or even protecting your running back so they can get through, then you don't have a team whatsoever. So they definitely should go for offense.
They're not going to be able to help develop plays for the quarterback to read and make the running back get their holes and get their outside lines. So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. I go offense, and I actually go O-line too. I'm actually going to go ahead and say I take Luke Jokel. Luke Jokel out of Texas A&M. Right now, he looks like the best player in the draft. And guess what? He was the #1 pick in the draft. You take the best player at the draft. This trade does two things for them. It allows them to not have to take a quarterback, which means they don't have to take Geno Smith, which you didn't have to take anybody. But a lot of teams feel like they do. Because if you're in that #1 slot, you probably don't have a quarterback. So it allows them to do that, and then it allows them to take the best player available. You take Luke Jokel. Luke Jokel is a left tackle, a position you sorely need, and he is good in pass and he's good in run. You don't find that in a left tackle every day. You have to take this guy.
Pretty much, and this team needs to definitely build on offense. You got Jamal Charles, Devin McCluster. These guys are good running backs. They need to capitalize on these good players and score points. That was their big thing. That's the reason they only won 2 games. They didn't have offense. They had all these meaningless yards. You had 2 running backs almost run for 400 yards combined, but you only scored 13 points in that game. That's not good. When I see that stat line for rushing yards, I see 30, 40 points in that game, at least. So definitely need to get some good wideouts and O-line, like you guys said, so they can find those holes and get to that touchdown.
And the other thing about that is that they actually have an underrated defense. They lost a lot of games by like 4 or 5 points.
Yeah, and they're probably going to pick up Sharif Floyd, who is going to be great for their defensive line, and that's something they desperately need.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Okay, and I think that's it for today.
That is it for our NFL news. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to start with the American League, and we'll see you then. Stay classy, world.